Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be how the narcissist plays the long game. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So a few major important things. First of all, the narcissist was playing a game, and most likely it was a long game. You see, when you met the narcissist, they had already sized you up. They learned all about you. They figured out who you were, what level of empathy you had, if you had money, if you didn't, your educational background, what your former relationships were, what your present relationships were, and what you wanted to do in the future. As they learned all about you, they figured out exactly how to infiltrate your life, how to get as close to you as they possibly could, how to start planting seeds of doubt, seeds of wondering, future fake you, if you will, and begin to slowly extract what is known as supply from you. And they did this over time. The narcissist knows what they're doing. They put their clothes on the exact same way you do, and they breathe the same air. One of the key instrumental differences between you and the narcissist is you want to build, you are authentic, you want to grow, you want to elevate, you want to help people. The narcissist is a parasite. They want to extract, they want to take, they want to trap, they want to trick, they want to manipulate, and they want to blame anyone they possibly can. The narcissist cannot introspect, they can't be accountable, and they will throw anybody under the bus that they possibly can. They will also learn as much information about as many people as they possibly want to. This is called information gathering or information harvesting. And when they do that, then they use that at a later date and they weaponize it against the target, either directly or indirectly. Directly would be by telling the person, who perhaps was you, it certainly was me, things about yourself that you told them in the past, and saying that you shouldn't have done that, or you're so weak, or that's your problem, or I can't believe that you did this, having you doubt yourself, blaming yourself, or being blamed. And then also when they would take that information and weaponize it against you, not directly, that would be indirectly, there's your smear campaign right there. You see, the narcissist is always looking to take. They're always looking to search and conquest. They're looking to divide and conquer. They're looking to take whatever they possibly can. And just when you think the narcissist has taken everything they possibly can, usually there's more to take. That's why once you get the wisdom, you have to apply the tools. You have to go no contact. You have to maintain your boundaries and get that person out of your life. If not now, when? The narcissist that you're considering, they most likely did play the long game. Now, the long game to you, maybe it was a few months. Excuse me, maybe the long game was a year. Maybe it was a semester. Maybe it was a season. Maybe it was a few years. Maybe it was a marriage when you were married to somebody for 3, 4, 5, 6 years. Maybe it was marrying somebody and having kids. Maybe that relationship was 30, 40, or 50 years. But the narcissist is always testing the temperature of the person they are in the relationship with, any moving parts around that person, the people they work with, their own kids, their spouse, their extended family members, their neighbors, colleagues, coworkers, business associates, and more. And the narcissist knows when they want to jettison from the relationship. And it is usually when they've taken the best of somebody or the most they could possibly get from somebody. When I say the best of somebody, remember, I'm speaking through the eyes of the narcissist, and by no means am I the narcissist. Quite the contrary. I'm an empath. And yes, we do exist. But the best of somebody could be looked at as this: the best years of their lives. Maybe the best years of somebody's life, maybe they thought it was in their 20s. Maybe they thought the best years of their lives was in their 30s. Maybe it was in their 40s. I can't tell you what year or decade it was or time period, but many times that's what people will say. The narcissist took the best years of me. Well, that is true if you believe it's true. If you don't, and I don't, I believe that every day is equal and or better than the day before, meaning I am learning, I'm growing, I'm ascending, I'm elevating, I'm changing. And my hope is that's what you're doing too. I personally don't stay stuck in the past, and I don't consider my 20s as my best decade or my 30s as my best decade. Maybe you do, and if you do, that's great. I wouldn't look at time that way. I wouldn't look at your life that way. How I would look at it is whoever you were before you met the narcissist, that was one version of you. Whoever you became when you were trapped in that narcissistic relationship, that was the second version of you. And the third version of you is the strongest, most galvanized version of you known to humankind post-relationship once you've healed. That is the person who has risen through the ashes like a phoenix, dusted themselves off by the bootstraps and healed properly. And once you acquire the wisdom that you have acquired or you are acquiring, and you've kicked the narcissist to the curb and you've gone no contact, you will see the way things are, not the way you wanted to see them. You will see the world the way it is, not the way the narcissist wanted you to see the world. And you will have elevated and ascended and changed so many things about yourself because you were in the narcissistic abusive cycle, and that cycle changed you forever. Now, having said all these things, why the narcissist or how the narcissist plays the long game, let's take the romantic relationship for a moment. Maybe you fell in love with the narcissist and you had kids. Okay, well, now you know that what did the narcissist do with the kids? First of all, they probably didn't raise them. They probably counter-parented while you were trying to co-parent. That's number one. Number two, they probably try to turn some of the kids into mini-me's, which means try to become their best buddy and turn them into the next generation of toxicity, but rather not give them boundaries and teach them right from wrong and support them. Rather, they try to probably misdirect them and not educate them or parent them properly. But on top of that, when the kids got to be a certain age, maybe that's when the narcissist ended the relationship because they no longer needed you. Meaning you were probably the one that was paying the bills and cooking and cleaning and raising the kids, whatever you did. And once the kids got of a certain age, maybe that's when the discard happened. Maybe the discard or the ending of the relationship took place when you retired. Maybe it took place, the ending of the relationship, when you had a health challenge. Maybe it was soon thereafter when you relocated. Maybe it was when you got fired from your job. Maybe it was when you had created a new business that was thriving, doing extremely well. I can't tell you exactly what it was, but I will tell you this. The narcissistic relationship, number one, it has an expiration date. Number two, the narcissist usually ends the relationship. Number three, the narcissist had sized this up and figured it out as to when they wanted to end the relationship, whenever it served them. Number four, you were always kept in the dark. You may have thought you knew the narcissist and you knew their where they were, the whereabouts, and who they were with and what they were doing and everything. All you know are the words they told you. When you weren't with them, you will never know where they were. I mean, never. So you may think, oh no, they were always with me. They were always at the office. They knew they wouldn't cheat on me. They wouldn't hide money. They were really a good person until they weren't. Well, that's not really what it was. What it was, yeah, maybe they told you they were having lunch. Maybe they told you they were staying late at work. Maybe they told you they were visiting their sister or brother a couple states away. Maybe they told you they were working on that project late at night or taking that seminar for a weekend, 3 weekends a month for the last 6 months. Why do you think the narcissist did all these things? Why do you think the narcissist wanted to appear single when they were married to you? Why do you think the narcissist walked 40 feet in front of you consistently? Why do you think they frequently lost their wedding ring? Why do you think when you would take pictures with the narcissist, many times they wouldn't even show their teeth, they wouldn't smile, they would smirk, and they would be on the opposite end of the picture as where you were, meaning you were on the right side, they were on the left? Why do you think the narcissist didn't want their picture taken many times? Why do you think the narcissist was hiding in plain sight? It's because these people are cowards, they're bullies, they do play the long game. They don't want to become exposed. They don't want people figuring out who they are. Once someone shines the light on the narcissist, and I am not suggesting or saying to call them out, anything but that, but let's say that somebody figured out who they are, that they're toxic, and maybe even said that they were the narcissist. And I'm going to reiterate this for my own peace of mind. You should not call the narcissist out. You should not hold a grudge. You should not wish ill will upon them, and you should not do anything vindictive upon them. They will get their karma when the time is right, but it won't come in the hands of you or a human being. It will come from a power much greater than us. But when the narcissist was doing whatever they were doing, they when they continued to abuse people, what they did is they didn't think anybody would ever put two and two together. But if somebody actually did figure it out, usually that person became the next target, or they were ghosted, or they were discarded. Any of those three things. There could be a fourth one, which I'm not going to mention. But once the light shines on the narcissist, they can't handle the truth. They can't face the music. They can't face the demons that keep on spinning around in their mind. They can't deal with the dark energy that exists and controls them in their dark mind. They can't deal with the dark energy that they must answer to every single waking moment of their life. The narcissist has multiple demons, and those demons live in their mind. Those demons live in their aura and in their energy field. And the narcissist, however they became, whomever they became, is because they knew what they wanted to do. They wanted to take the easy way through life. They wanted to use other people as fuel sources, i.e. sources of supply. They wanted to steal, plunder, cheat, lie, and do whatever they possibly could with anybody who was supporting them. They wanted to backstab anyone who was in their vicinity. They wanted to use smear campaigns, which means make up flat out lies about people, isolate people, divide people. And they wanted to do this throughout their whole life. They did it when they were younger. They did it in their 20s, their 30s, their 40s, 50s, their 60s, their 70s. And if they made it past that, they became what is known as, yes, the aging narcissist. And you should know it by now. I will say it in the beginning and you can finish it. The aging narcissist is what? That's right, they are not a pretty sight to see. If the person you're considering reaches a higher level of age, whatever number you want to place on it, they become more and more toxic as father time ticks on, because they lose their looks, they lose their grasp of reality. They can't continue to change the mask the way they used to. Their supply sources, many of them aren't on the planet any longer for various reasons. Their age group is dwindling, and they can't use the charm and the allure or the sensuality, if you will, that they used to use to the younger generation. And the reason why the last part I mentioned is because the younger generation, the people in their 20s, I would actually say in their late teens, 20s and upwards, 30s, these people are really, really getting the message earlier on. Do they have the experiences I have? Not even close, but maybe some of them do. But they're understanding what toxicity is. In this generation, which I applaud, they are understanding that what they were taught perhaps doesn't apply to them, and that they can set their own rules. And their own rules are actually having boundaries and using and trusting their instincts, pay attention to red flags, and not listening or going along with the herd mentality. When I was younger, it was pre-internet, pre-smartphones. What we had was the rotary phone or the dial-up phone and the yellow pages. And you probably don't even know what either of those two things are, but point being is back then, we, the people who were younger years ago, our youth was usually being outside and making tree forts and riding bikes and things like that. It wasn't on social media. Why I'm saying all those things is this generation right here, specifically since the last 5 years, if you understand what I'm talking about, look at the calendar year-wise, from that year going forward, the world stopped. It stopped on a dime, and it changed everybody's perspective. No matter who you are, your perspective is different than it was in March of 2020. It's totally different, whether you think it or not. You've learned a lot, you've digested a lot, and you've processed a lot. And many of us were in the toxic narcissistic relationship during that period, and many of us are out, and a good amount of us, although not as many as I would like to be there, have healed and healed properly. But again, the healing path is a destination. It's a journey. It takes time. It takes a lot of time, but in your time you will heal if you utilize the tools that are provided for you with each and every video I create. But this is why the narcissist plays the long game, because they will hide in plain sight. They will continue to wear the mask. They will continue to use, abuse, manipulate people, and act like they don't even know what's going on. They will continue to go to the office water cooler and throw anyone who is not at the office water cooler that particular day under the bus. And then tomorrow, when they go back to the office water cooler on a lunch break, a new person isn't there, but the person that they threw under the bus is there today. So they'll throw the person that isn't there under the bus, and the person that was there yesterday, they'll say, no, I didn't say anything. That was somebody else. It wasn't me. You see, they always want to misdirect. They want to confuse. They want to destroy. They don't want to create. And the narcissist does this methodically, calculatedly, very calculated, and they do it deliberately. That's why the narcissist tends to play the long game. So again, let's say that the narcissist that you're considering, maybe it wasn't a romantic relationship. Maybe it was your adult child who has been asking you for money since they were old enough to maintain or get a job. Maybe let's say until they were in their late teens or after they graduated high school or university. Well, maybe you're still providing a roof over their head, or maybe you're still sending the money or paying for their phone bill or getting in the new car or getting in the latest iPhone or whatever you're doing. And if you're doing it because you want to do it, that's one thing. But if you're doing it because they are pleading poverty, even though they have a job and they earn 6 figures, or if they're pleading poverty and they're living in your basement playing Xbox on your dime, not paying for anything, and they haven't in 10 years, and they're just complaining about how the hotel life that you're providing for them isn't good enough and that you're lucky to have them in the house, that's called holding you hostage. And I just spoke a whole lot there. I hope you followed that part of the message. Point being is the narcissist will play the long game. They will drag out the divorce. They will drag out the money. They will drag out the 401k, the kids, the house. They will drag out the truth. Of course, you will never really know the truth. You will only know what you've acquired via wisdom post-narcissistic relationship, because the narcissist will never tell you the truth. That's why this is a journey. This is why it's a puzzle piece, a puzzle that you'll have to put together piece by piece, which is why the more light bulb moments you get, they are akin to puzzle pieces. The more light bulb moments you get, the more pieces of the puzzle you put together, and eventually the puzzle gets put together. Maybe not 100%, but it gets put together more than enough for you to have confirmation that the person you're considering was toxic. They knew what they were doing. They played the long game. They financially abused you, emotionally abused you, maybe even physically abused you, definitely mentally abused you, and so much more. And they didn't care. Quite the opposite. They were probably mocking you, laughing at you, taunting you, teasing you, sneering at you, smirking at you, getting their pupils filled with the beach ball-like blackness of supply. They were probably doing that over and over again. You must remember this before I close the video. You were not formally educated on the topic. You didn't know what you were up against. You didn't know what a narcissist was. You didn't know what triangulation was. You didn't know what the smear campaign was. You had know what financial abuse was. You didn't know any of these things. Now you're understanding them. That's why you really need to take this seriously. This is your life. It's not a mini-series. This is your life. It's not a movie. This is your life, and you need to take charge of it. You need to close any avenue of communication that was open to the toxic person to you. You need to seal it airtight. You need to maintain your boundaries. You need to heal and heal properly, and understand that, yes, 1, the narcissist knew what they were doing. 2, yes, they were playing the long game. 3, yes, they're doing it right now. 4, yes, they will never change. And number 5, and above all, you need to understand that all the power, all the energy, all the golden, beautiful, bright, shining light, it's within you. This is you. It's always been you. That's why the narcissist targeted you. That's why you need to get away from these people as far as you can and as fast as you can, because they don't change. They only deteriorate, and they will take anybody, and I mean anybody, down in that low vibrational quagmire state with them. Anyone who gives them access. That's why you really need to get the message. Yes, the narcissist was playing the long game, and yes, they did size you up, and yes, that's exactly what they're doing right now with either a recycled source of supply, a clean slate, or a toxic apex predator, worse or nastier than they are. So everyone, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon. I love you all. God bless you. I'll talk to you tomorrow. A few things before I close the video. Number 1, I hope you like the beautiful Carolina background. This is absolutely amazing. Number 2, that I believe was Nola in the background making a guest appearance. Nelson may have been there, but I believe that was Nola. And number 3 is this. The narcissist played the long game. They tried to drag out that relationship as long as they could, to take as much from you as they could, to not give you closure, to probably discard you, to end that relationship, to keep you flailing on that island in an ocean of abuse, so you would never figure it out. This is what these people do. It's what they've done since the beginning of time, and they're doing it right now. That's why you need to understand that you are the priority. You come first, second, and third. This is you. Play this part of the video a few times. Take a screenshot. Keep it as your screensaver. Whatever you need to do. You are the abundant, beautiful, bright, shining light. You are the golden energy. You are stronger than you know. Understand that where you were, you couldn't see this within you or on the outside. Now that you're free, now that you're out, this does nothing but radiate through you, outside of you, and all around you. This is why you can see things clearly. It's because you are the beautiful, bright, shining light, and you are stronger than you know. I love you all. God bless you, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Bye. Stay golden, everybody. Bye.